Hello everybody and welcome. Today I thought I'd show you how I make my skins. I'm going to show you some neat stuff to do with skins. But today I was just going to show you how I make my skins. I have paints that I've already pre-mixed. And I put them in these nifty little jars that I found at the thrift store. I think they're breastfeeding bottles to store breast milk. So I have these already pre-mixed, but I'm going to show you how I mix my paints. Show you some new color. Down on my tray, I bought this tray at the thrift store also, I have wax paper, and I'm going to show you how I've mixed these paints that are already in the jars, ready to go. The first step is floaterol, and I use my little mini solo cups and pour to the first line, and then I take whatever color I'm going to use. This is Color Shift Purple Flash, and I fill it up to the second line. I use the lines in the cups as measurements. I put a little bit, all of my paints have a little bit of the Moroccan Sleek or the Marvelous oil. A little of both is what I use. Put a couple of squirts in there. That's the Marvelous oil. And stir, stir, stir. Mix it all up. If the paint seems a little thick, the Color Shift paints seem to have a good consistency, a good texture to pour. So I don't usually have to add water to them, but if my paint is thick, I will add a couple of drops of water. Just kind of depends on the consistency. But just stir, stir, stir. And then at this point I pour it into my bottle to store. So I have paints ready for future pours. And then I just kind of set that aside. Some of them I've used that type of paint, which is why I went ahead and mixed them into the bottles so I could have them ready. Those ones I tend to have to add a little water to, a couple drops, nothing major. So I'm going to start with my cup, and I am going to start layering my colors in no particular order. This is the white.
Are you shooting your video yet?
A little bit of the cranberry. A little purple. Which was the Craft Smart plum. A little bit of gold. A little bit of blue. You can layer these up any way you want, any colors you want, any way you want. I just happen to have these ready, so that's what I'm using. Just a little bit of white. I try to get a little white drizzle in there, nothing too big. little bit of the color shift. I really like the metallics and the color shift paints. My favorite. They are my favorite. So I try to use those a lot because I love the effects that I get. Maybe a little rose gold, metallic. A little bit of the turquoise or Caribbean. I don't know which one that was, Caribbean or turquoise. Just a little bit of white and maybe a little more color flash purple. And you can see I've filled my cup up. And there you have it. So what I do is I pour onto my parchment paper, and you can pour this out any way you want. I just kind of try to make a shape that I can come back in and cut out shapes with when the paint is dry. And you can see it just lays out on the parchment paper just beautifully. I love how it starts with one color, and then as you get to the bottom of a cup, it changes color. It's really a neat effect when I'm doing like ring pours on my canvas. But after I paint my rocks or my canvases or whatever I'm working on, I take all the drippings and make the skins. And like I said, I'll show you guys what to do with some skins when it's all dry. And it's just so neat how the colors lay out. You can see the cells are starting to form. Probably from the mixture of hair oil and the Floetrol in the paint. And there you have it. And then this will take a while to dry. It takes a little while. I don't know, 48 hours or so. Depends on the thickness of paint and how thick I do it. But that's how I lay out my skins. And then I wait for that to dry. And when the skins are dry, they look like this on my parchment. And basically, I just peel them away. So I have something to work with once they're dry. And there you have it. That's how I make my skins. I'm gonna let this one dry. I am going to move it from my workstation, and then I'll show you what I do with the skins once they're dry. Thank you guys so much for coming, for showing up, and I hope that I helped you navigate some of the skins. Thank you. Bye-bye.